write something and it doesn't have to be changed later. So, yes, you have to play this balancing act, right? The developer says, I'm done, I wrote this, and now you have to write a test, and now the developer, oh no, I have to change it, and I have to change the test, and I have to do this, I have to change this. How do we stop that cycle? Or reduce it?
Good requirements we get.
Good requirements. Okay, so does that mean we spend 3 months making up requirements?
No.
No.
What does that mean?
So you still have to get the product out. So if you have good user stories, you have a definition of done or an acceptance criteria that everyone can understand, and you go from there. There are going to be changes mid-course, which is why this is agile. So sometimes when things look perfectly good, further down the line as you got into more things, you find out things had to change.
You have to accept change to an extent. So you set up, when you're starting, this is what is right. I don't care in 6 months if this is still right or not, because I can't predict what's going to happen in 6 months. But for this time block, until someone tells us different, this is right.
Collaboration is a big one between you and the developers. So both of you are on the same page and you can understand this is why we need to make the specs and you can upgrade your test cases. They're upgrading that code because it hurts them too because they have to recode just as you have to retest.
You also got to get the PMs in there because on more than one occasion we did something, everything was fine, and all of a sudden the PM came in at the demo, it wasn't quite what they wanted.
Define P and PM.
Project manager.
Okay.
So then you had to basically, you had to redo the whole thing. So you've got to get all the stakeholders in early so that we're all on the same page.
We try to, maybe we're more controlled since we've been doing Agile for a couple of years. It took a couple of years to get it, but we're big. So when the developer wants some feedback, we'll do a little testing. And when the developer says, I'm done, we'll do testing. And that's when it's time for us to say, the work for this sprint is done. But we're not going to tolerate a change. That means go back and work the code because the requirements have changed. We're going to say what we were supposed to do in this sprint is done. It's worked. It works. We're going to stop testing. You want to change it? That's another story.
Yes, have a boundary of acceptance criteria. These are all good ideas that help that. Okay. Here's what I wrote down. Now, you guys all said that at the beginning, right? Continuous integration, all kinds of things. Test now. Test at the start. Don't test 3 months from now during the two hardening sprints. Don't test on the last 2 days of the sprint. You should be doing something to actually test, or at the very least, start defining tests on day 1 of sprint. Hour 1 of sprint. And we already said do it in parallel, right? We're going to do these things in parallel with the developers. We're going to do them together with the developers. One of the things that you asked about this testing and changes and whatever, as soon as that looks like it's happening, I better be in a chair sitting next to the developer. Either they're sitting in my cube or I'm sitting in theirs, or we're sitting in the conference room together and we're doing that loop like this until it comes out right. And then it's not so painful. So we're doing it right there. Yeah. Okay, time. Put time on your card. Time. I've got 10 minutes. Wow. Time goes now. We've got what? 2 more sections to go? I'm going to move fast. I'm going to get to my last slide. Okay? How? I'm going to put all mine up first. Way to save time a little bit. Less duplication. TDD, what is TDD?
Test driven development.
Test driven development, what does that mean?
Means you write the test
awesome when you got a developer, tester sitting there, or you have another developer helping to test whatever, create that. Go. Okay. BDD, what is BDD?
Behavior-driven development.
Behavior-driven development. We're gonna define the behavior of the user and drive our development based on what behavior should come out. ATDD. Acceptance test-driven development. These are all kind of flavors of the same thing. Okay. Pairing. Already said it. Sit next to your development. Automation. You guys already said it. Use your customers. I was coaching a team a few months back. Their users, their end users were in the same building, and they weren't allowed to talk to them.
We're actually on sprinting with our customers, with our outside customers. So they actually help set our priorities, set everything up.
Okay. Any other ideas around how? We touched on this earlier. Whoever the newbie is, I'm sorry. I got offensive. The new guy. All right. So, in my opinion, yes, a developer can be a tester. In fact, should be a tester, at the very least of their own code. Unit testing and so on is what is generally a domain of developers. Make sure you have, I find it very valuable to have people who have that testing mind to also add to whatever developer might do. Any other ideas on how? Going fast. The cards, write down how. Put down something. It's important to you. Yes?
Does a tester have to be a developer in your mind? Would you go the other way?
Have to be a developer. Have to be such a strong word. Right? It's that strong phrase. No, but I would expect on a team that's sitting in a small boat, right? Small team on a voyage together over time, I would expect the tester to become familiar with the code and become familiar with what a coder does, and vice versa. Maybe after several years of such an environment, a tester would become a coder too. And it really helps that person doing the automation, the person writing the automation code, if they're a tester, that is really valuable too. But I'm not saying they have to be. I think if you're doing Agile right, they eventually will pick up some of those skills. Okay? Now the way. Yes, let's get all zen on it. Okay. The way. Use that Agile manifesto and the 12 principles. I'm not going to ask because usually embarrassingly few number of people who say they're Agile have actually read the Agile manifesto and the 12 principles. It's very short. Go read it. Read it once a week or something.
At least until you memorize it.
Until you memorize it. And if you want to know how well you're doing in Agile, look at that Agile manifesto and say, if I were doing this principle, if I were living this, what would I be doing differently than I'm doing now? And what benefit would I get out of doing that? What benefit would the team get, the product get, the organization get if I were to do this? It's an excellent retrospective framework, for example. Go through those 12 principles. That helps you decide if you're on the way, the Agile path. Make sure you're transparent. The word transparency and transparent is not in the Agile manifesto. It's very much implied. Everybody's working against reality, as you currently know it. Gary. He's a ninja. Gary already touched a lot on trust. Vulnerability is like right next to it. That's something that you can do. Take up the courage to be the vulnerable one to start the cycle of trust. quotes about that, like linchpin, and Seth Godin. It's all about taking the power that you have and applying it, and being an artist in what you do. Okay, any other things, questions, thoughts about making sure you're in the agile way? Please write them down on your card if you have not done so already. One or two things about being in the agile way. 2 minutes. I have no idea how far we can go over time. Let's see. Okay, this card that you've written these 6 things on is yours to keep and take. Hopefully this exercise has given you some thought about some things you can do on Monday, or even today, this evening, if it's something that you can personally start applying. Let me try to wrap up. Can't say enough how much you need to get closer to customers. Make sure that when your ship arrives, you have customers there, and that you've involved them in your work, that you're building stuff for them. Keep your customers involved. Be agile, because the next time you might not be riding a boat. I had to find a way to keep this slide in. Here's some sources for you. The Phoenix Scrum User Group, I've been involved with it since it started. I don't know, whatever, 2 years ago or something. There is a North meeting held at Scottsdale and a South meeting held in Gilbert every month. We also are trying to start up a lean coffee, as we're calling it, which is a meeting at a coffee shop early in the morning, like 7 a.m. and you can just chat. It's like a Thursday, something like that. We haven't officially announced it yet. But it's fun. Okay, so look at those meetings. There's a lot of value there where you can talk about your things and learn from others. That's what it's there for. I mentioned Gangplank in my little questions. You want to go see an agile community? Go visit Gangplank. I'm not directly associated with Gangplank, except I'm a mentor there. I do agile mentoring. You can come and talk to me for 45 minutes about whatever you want. It costs you nothing. So when I have a free day when I'm in town, I set up a mentoring time that you can sign up for. There's lots of online groups about agile. And yes, you have to put up with some of the trolls once in a while, but in general, there's lots of knowledgeable people that will help you. You know, all those guys that are at the bottom of all those books you read, like Ken Schwaber and Ron Jeffries and whatever, they're there. They'll answer your question. Okay, now we'll get this out of the way. That's me. I work for Big Visible Solutions. That's why my shirt says that. We're agile transformation and coaching consultancy. I love conversations. Send me an email. Hit me up on Twitter. We can talk. Answer your questions if you have any more. Any other questions? Something we didn't touch on that you would like to address in our negative 1 minute? Yes.
What happened to the boat crew after the changes?
They were happy.
Happy?
They were happy.
Boats?
And the bowman, I keep saying bowman because that's how I read it. The bowman and the helmsman and whatever, they were getting along because they couldn't blame each other when they're all sitting on the boat.
Customers got their crates on top of it.
They got all their crates on. Okay, the second index card is for me. If you would please write down anything good or anything that needs to change about how I presented and talked to you. If you liked it or if you didn't like it, especially if there's something you didn't like, because that's how I